Today is Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. It is the day after Halloween, and this is our weekly cult meeting, Wizard Wednesday. Can somebody tell Elon Musk that our wizards are coded on chain? Channeling in from the Quantum Downs, this is the Black Goat of the Wood, Elf J Trul, and joining me is...
Dotta, hey.
What up, Dotta?
I think Bear, hey, I think Bear is, I don't know, tending to his children, something like that.
Yeah, I think he's in a parent-teacher conference.
Yeah, exactly. Oh boy, so he's got.
So
he's gonna be late.
he could be there all day. From what I've heard, his child takes after him, and so there's probably a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, we have a huge show today. We've got so much to talk about. Magic Machine is shipping way too much. Our partners are shipping way too much. The cult is shipping way too much. So let's see if we can fit all of it in. What do you think, Dotta?
It's crazy. I'm like trying to tweet or retweet or do a tweet storm around everything that happens in the cult, and like I just can't keep up. My Twitter, all of my tweets are about the cult now, and I still am not covering everything. So we can try today.
Yeah, no, it's too much. I mean, we've talked about this before, but there are moments where it feels like the Runiverse is just going exponential, and like one reason I use that term is because in a pure exponential scenario, it's just impossible to keep up with everything that's happening. And you know, we just got out of our incredible Halloween event, which I want to talk about later. We've got a huge Runiverse announcement that we're going to talk about today. We've got Goblin Town coming. We've got a bunch of other things with partners. Like have people forgotten about the Legends of the Mara, where we teamed up with Yuga to make that? I just saw somebody in the cult yesterday. I think it was Red Rabbit. He won the Eldridge Codex. We've got the Luchadors game. And then, of course, we've got a ton of cult projects like Runes TCG, Small Souls, The Costume Changer, Black Sands Racing, The Cult Content Chronicle, Oz's Atelier, Cabinet of Curiosities. Merlin is always cooking things up. It's just so many that I can't keep track. And you know, this is sort of what the interoperable metaverse is all about. It's just really an exponential vector, and I think 2024 is just going to be a huge year on that vector. And we have a physical comic book coming out. Forgot all about that. An actual physical comic book that will be in stores very soon.
Yeah, this month people should be able to start getting their comics. I think that they'll. I think it drops. What is it, the 14th or something? So we'll have to look it up.
Right, but you know, I don't know. Does any other NFT project have an actual physical comic book in a store?
Sup does. Dom's project Sup.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But that's the only one I can think of. And their comic looks pretty good, by the way. I think they did like 10,000 copies and 10,000 covers, something like that. Like every cover is a one of one. It's a pretty cool idea. Okay. So if you see it, pick it up when you pick up your Forgotten Runes comic.
English, hello.
Hey,
GM, what's going on, fellas?
Hey.
Morning.
Hey, what's up?
That's good, man. No, wanted to shout out Dotta. Thank you. He let me borrow the Wizard Wednesday. I don't know if I owe you like a royalty. Like I just did a space for tap reward, and I felt bad. So I thought Dotta gave me like the okay because like Bear came on. We talked about your event. He came on the Little Noun Show. He was fantastic. Really enjoyed learning more about you guys. Always knew about you, but not in depth. I just wanted to chime in here because I've had a lot of projects on my show, and probably none of them have shipped as much stuff as you guys have. So Kudos to you guys. You guys are doing wonderful stuff. The Nouns did have some kind of published kind of comics, but I was joking with Bear because it's like he he started explaining everything that was on the roadmap, everything that you've delivered. I was like, so you have like the cliche 2021 roadmap, but you actually delivered on it, like where nobody else did it. Like, all right, we're gonna do a metaverse, we're gonna do a comic book, we're gonna do a show, and it's like you guys actually. Probably everybody just copied you and couldn't deliver it, right? But you guys,
there you go.
So shout out to you guys. You guys are doing fantastic, and I really enjoyed him having on the show. So I just want to say hi to you guys and hi to Dotta.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Taproot Wizards as well. So, yeah, love your PFP.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, it's funny. I remember, 2.5 years ago when we were like, oh, we need to do a roadmap. I remember Dotta, like you were kind of opposed to doing a roadmap in the very beginning.
100%. I still wouldn't do one if I didn't have to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. They do seem kind of passe now. What's like the new version of the roadmap? Like it's kind of evolved into something new.
I think people like to do like vision maps or something like that, where it's just kind of conceptual. Like this is where we feel like, and this is what the area that we want to kind of like delve into, but there's no actual like deliverables that you're kind of mentioning, because that gets you like in weird things, and then people become bearish on you because that was kind of the argument, right? Like Punks doesn't have a roadmap, Yuga has a roadmap. That's why they're flipping Punk. So then everybody's like, all right, fantastic, we need a roadmap, and that's the key to making an NFT project successful.
Yeah.
Which is asinine, right? And then it became bearish, right? It's like, oh, you have a roadmap, like I don't want to deal with you guys.
That's right. We just want vibes. We want a roadmap is execution risk.
Yeah. No, it's funny though, because I remember people early in the Discord were saying, oh, you don't have a roadmap, pass. And now it's a liability.
We're just going to do our thing and keep making magic.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, I want to talk about Halloween today. I want to talk about the Runiverse. Matto, I'm glad you're here. I know you've been talking a lot about that in the Secret Tower. I want to give a huge shout out to Runes TCG. Give a hoot if you're here, and if you want to come up and talk about Runes TCG for a bit, you're totally welcome to. I've certainly got my own thoughts about it. And we've got only 2 cult questions today that I can see. So I don't know where to go first. What do you think, Halloween or
TCG? I really love. Well, there's just so much. Yeah, Halloween, of course, but Runes TCG, I feel like has not gotten the love that it deserves. I mean, look at this collection. I'm going to paste it in, paste the OpenSea link in the Discord, and I think that just the cards are absolutely beautiful. Not only the Dotta cards, which are these like tricolor pixels for my own egocentricity, but like I think I especially love the like the monochrome dithered.
Yep.
I think are my favorite. So, for example, I minted a one of the White Lady, and it's just so beautiful. It reminds me of like the art, like the dithering artwork from like old Mac OS 9, like back in the day, but then mixed with this sort of like classical painting style in a way that's so beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. Give a hoot. Hello.
Hey, what's up? Happy Wizard Wednesday.
Hey, give a hoot. Listen, Runes TCG Soul expansion is effing incredible. My only regret is that I feel like it's getting overshadowed by Halloween and Runiverse and other stuff. But it's also just so good that I think people are still definitely minting and opening packs and talking a lot about it. So yeah, what do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, no, it's funny. It's like I totally it is insane how much the cult like just threw out there in the past few days. So like totally, it's just like it's almost like drinking from the fire hose. Don't even mention at the top. He's like, I'm trying to tweet everything. I can't even keep up. It's like insane. But no, I mean, I've been getting a constant stream of like likes and tweets about it on Twitter and stuff. So I'm in no rush. We're chilling in the bear. Like, we're not going anywhere. So I have no doubt that people will kind of, pick cards up at their leisure, and that's totally fine. That was the plan, like, from the get-go. But yeah, the set's just incredible. I mean, huge shout out to all the artists, El Metallico, Gulsi, Kutter, and then Postmodern Ouroboros, which is a funny quantum synchronicity there. And then who else? Metallico, Gulsi, Postmodern Ouroboros, Padla. I mean, yeah, and they're all insane.
I think my biggest complaint with Runes TCG is that, like, people don't value them enough. That they're, like, underpriced. That this like, what I want you to do is, like, turn off the Souls supply. Be like, boom, they're done. It's November now. You can't mint anymore. And then, like, what is out here is out here, and it's like, oh, those you can't play them in the game. Too bad. They're too beautiful to. I want Runes TCG to be like this, like, high-end collector's cards more than I want them to have such a high supply.
It has been interesting trying to balance like game mechanics with just the cards in general, right? Like, that was the one thing about finding the number of packs. Looking at, like, if I was going to read the market and say how many packs there should be, I would probably have a way less volume. But that also means that skews the balance of the game, because cards have stats, right? And so, like, they become so exclusive that it almost becomes pay to win. Whereas I wanted to have a big enough supply where I feel like that wasn't the case. But I agree. And actually, I mean, one way where that one way I do kind of scratch that itch of yours is the actual card art. So yes, the cards are plentiful, but so far we raffled off like 40 of the 60 core set one of card art cards. So, like, they're one of ones. They're minted as NFTs on the Polygon blockchain, and I plan on doing something similar with the Souls. I might raffle some, I might auction some, but that's an opportunity to get your hands on the actual art, not just the card.
But I really love it. I love it, and I just can see this, like, developing, especially as the brand grows, to being like a really prized collector's item to own these NFTs, right? Like, the fact that there's two angelic Dottas, right? There's one with the wings down, which is a little bit more common, and then there's the one with the wings up, and right now I think there's only like 2 minted. And yeah, being able to kind of have those be supply restricted and like collector's items is something that, well, I really love. I love how you've done it.
I know there's a bunch of one of ones in the collection. Do you know how many have been revealed?
Yeah, so 3 have been revealed so far, and so there's 2,500 packs. But we engineered it so the first 1,000 would have all of the currently commissioned one of ones. So we've gone through 3 so far. There have been a bunch of pack opens, which is amazing. Thank you, everyone who's minted a pack and opened a pack. It means a ton. Nothing gives me more joy than, like, people posting screenshots of the cards they minted. Like, seriously, it's just so freaking awesome. And yeah, so there's 6 more one of ones, including Elves, which is quite a doozy. I mean, they're all amazing. And so, yeah, the Trust Pixels Nightmare Imp was minted. BKK Bros Ghost Pumpkin was minted. And then Meat Prisoners Ghost Slime was minted. And they're all incredible. Jiro got Ghost Slime and Ghost Pumpkin. Kel got the Nightmare Imp one of one, which is, like, freaking just insane.
Yeah, that one is awesome.
Yeah. And no, and all the artists are amazing. Like, Dotta, you mentioned Mech. Like, that's the thing, is, like, art is the core of Runes, and we paid good money for these commissions. Like, this isn't just, like, Fiverr card art. Like, this is
you can tell
commissioned card art. Like, and that was the goal. So, like, sure, it's reasonably priced as far as I can tell, and you get a bunch of cards, and all of a sudden, guess what? You have, like, a bunch of amazing art in your wallet. Regardless of whether you even play the game or not. Like,
it's super underpriced.
I agree. I agree. I'm also I've been opening packs like crazy to try to get the 1/1s because like I really want some of those 1/1 arts. I feel like kind of like mirroring what Dotta said. I feel like they're way undervalued for what they are. The art is so amazing on them. I think that people just don't really they don't really even know that really there like when you first enter the cult. So like I'll try my best to like also kind of like tell people like, hey, there's this nice little cult project that was made that's like has incredible artwork and it takes from the lore from the call and it takes from like a lot of talent that's within the call and such. So I think it's a really good showcase. It's a really good showcase of what Forgotten Ruins has to offer. It's incredible.
Yeah, we should bridge off of Polygon, triple the price, and turn off minting of all of the cards that are available right now.
Oh my god, capitalist Dotta.
Yeah, exactly. There goes Dotta with his tokenomics.
Oh my god, no. I mean, hey, I dig it. And you know, I mean, Runes isn't going anywhere as long as the cult's here. Runes is going to be here. So I have no, you know, if it takes people a second to find it, it's all good. But I appreciate all of the support and and sharing it and talking to people about it. And so I'm hopefully gonna. You know, it was a pretty mad push to get the Souls expansion already, but I do plan on hosting some tournaments over the next few weeks where the winners will be able to get some packs. And I'll probably raffle off packs to non-winners just so like, you know, some of it's just like so generally anyone has the opportunity to get a pack or two, especially if they, you know, it is bear market times. I understand like 0.01 ETH isn't like that's not nothing, especially now. So I mean, my main priority is like getting the cards in the hands of the players. That's like that's the best outcome. So so yeah, hopefully I'll hold some tournaments over the next few weeks. I can raffle off some packs and have a good time.
I wanted to say that my favorite pulls so far are the Soul Pony and the Glitched Poltergeist, which I think that one is like a cult-wide favorite. The Glitched Poltergeist, so good.
Totally. I mean, that would like, yeah, the Glitch Poltergeist has to be on the top of like favorite Forgotten Runes tokens, like in the cult for sure. You know, it was funny when you guys said that the Souls 3D models wouldn't be in it. I noticed like at least a dozen people were like, oh my god, I want to see the Glitch Poltergeist running around. I know Lorepunk especially was like, but no, that's a huge one, and there may or may not be a 1/1 of the Glitch Poltergeist.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
Another one that really stood out to me it's called Oberon Reborn. And is that the wizard that came back from the dead? Is that what that is?
It is. Summoner
awesome.
Oberon of the Tundra.
Awesome.
The standard, the basic art is his soul version, and then the alternate art is of him. And so I reached out to Noah ETH, who owns that token, and we collabed on that a little bit. And so again, it was also super fun just to reach out to everyone who's sorry for my dog, who you know has like soul tokens, and even just as like has soul lore. You know, talked to a bunch of cult members, Mala. I talked to Noah. I talked to a bunch of people, and you know, and I would say a much bigger ratio of this set has been from the community, especially like obviously the Grim Reaper and the White Lady and all that kind of stuff. So just trying to continue to kind of extract, you know, not extract, but like enhance, upgrade, just add different like angles of view into the different lore that exists out there. So yeah, that was also just super duper fun.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, Oberon Reborn is actually a wizard that was burned, I don't know, a year ago-ish, and through some sort of glitch in the quantum shadow, it actually came back. And nobody knows how it happened. Unless, Dotta, do you know how it happened?
I mean, I know how it happened, but I'm unhappy about it.
Okay. So it was just a bug in your code. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's the first time.
Literally the first bug you've ever put in a line of code.
It's really annoying.
I think the funniest thing about it is the fact that it was like somebody who I guess was like bug hunting. Like I guess they probably found that bug like in another contracts or whatever, and they were just like, let me just test other NFT contracts to see if they have something similar with it. And like because they weren't from within the cult, and they just kind of like when they got Oberon back, they kind of just threw him up at floor. I remember or something. They just kind of like, all right, cool.
It.
Yeah, it was like, all right, cool. I got this free wizard. Time to explore it.
Well,
now
it's legendary.
Exactly.
I'm bridging more ETH right now to get more packs. I'm too excited.
Thank you, Dotta. Much appreciated. And Elf, on that topic, another like one of the other like funner cards to kind of workshop was Charlord.
Oh yeah.
Null Mage Charlord, who stands out to me as like one of the greatest examples of the interplay between like Forgotten Runes, the company, and kind of like you guys and the cult. He's a flaming head wizard who holds the ice cream, and Tad owned by Andy.eth on Twitter. And he commissioned Tad to make an animation of Charlord trying to eat his ice cream, but he couldn't because he's a flaming head, obviously. So like he would try to eat the ice cream would fall off the cone, and then you took that and actually that influenced the soul version of the flaming head and the ice cream cone.
Exactly.
Like,
that's exactly right.
That to me, like, you know, whenever anyone pops into the cult and asks about like, oh, like, you know, like how does this work? This collaborative legendarium, how does this work? You know, like like you guys share ideas. What's this all about? And that's one of the shining examples to me where it's just like, no, this is real. Like we're all building this together, and like, and yeah. So having Charlord in the set was also like a huge, just like selfish type thing where I was like, this guy's legendary. He needs to be more legendary. Like he is legendary. And he needs to be a card.
Totally agree. I love it. Yeah. I mean, and that's I guess like probably my favorite thing of all about Runes TCG is just the world building component that it has, where it's referencing sort of in culture of the community, but it's also building on top of it and just extrapolating into new territory. I mean, you've got like there's like a bestiary that's being developed in it. It's got just like new characters, new places. It just expands the whole world so much. I love it.
I just minted 10 more packs of souls.
Dota's gonna get a 1/1.
That's crazy.
I'm going for it.
I think one last note is that I really love all the different arts that you have. Like how you have like so many different artists, so there's like so many different styles, and that you always stick to like having pixel artists too. So like even though they're all distinctive styles, you still keep to like the idea that like, you know, these cards are all gonna be pixel art to keep the same kind of ground aesthetic. So it's really great. They go well together, and I love how like the 1/1. I've noticed that you've had different artists, even some artists who haven't even contributed to like the core of this expansion set. They've done like artists which is kind of like 1/1 works for those specific 1/1 cards. So like there's still some like unrevealed artists and stuff that are in there. So like it's really exciting. That's why I'm like and hoping I'm like trying to open as many packs to reveal some 1/1 because I want to see more artists that are in here.
For sure. Dotta, you just pulled a Nosferatu. That's a nice card. I like that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Sick. Cool. Yeah, no, I appreciate the kind words, and yeah, no, I mean, it was super fun, and thanks to everyone who contributed, and thanks to everyone who mints packs, and I don't know, yeah, if you open packs, please just share them in Discord somewhere so I can see it, because I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, I want to see who pulls my 1/1. I had a lot of fun with that one. I can't wait to see who gets it.
I hope.
Oh yeah, and actually,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and the last one, Cosmic actually just pointed out in the Discord. Yuki Onna was a fun cross collaboration. So obviously, so that artwork's done by Mech, who like again that with the the classic type painting, but like whatever style it is, it's amazing. But that card actually was inspired by the Aswang tribe, and I actually won a 1/1 Aswang token of Yuki Onna, and it's a spirit who lives in the tundra, who like kills people. And I was like, oh shit, this belongs to the Runiverse lore. This is perfect. So that's the backstory on the Yuki Onna.
Very cool.
If anyone was curious.
Okay, before I forget, Runes TCG was, correct me if I'm wrong, but originally funded through a DAO proposal. Is that right?
Correct. You are correct.
And so one of the things I want to give everybody a reminder of is that we have the DAO elections up in Snapshot right now. So yeah, look at the DAO announcements channel in the Discord, the How DAO channel. You can find the link there. Be sure to vote. I believe there is another 3 or 4 days before the voting ends. Really, everybody who's kind of up there, who is running, who's accepted their nomination, I'm very, very happy with. I think really anyone on that list who gets into the council is going to be a benefit for the cult. So, please, I would love for you to look at the list of people, read their bios, reach out and ask them questions. My encouragement would be just try to evaluate each person on their own merits. If you can keep yourself from looking to see the social signaling of what everyone else is voting for, I think you should look and make your own decision. So, yeah, be sure to vote. It's a very good thing for you to vote to make sure we have like the most qualified people on this DAO. And also, I've for sure thought about using kind of people who vote as a sort of like filter for qualifications for things in the future. So there's nothing on the horizon this second, but it's just a good thing to do. So that's why I encourage it.
Yep. Okay, let's talk about the Runiverse Eve of Memory announcement. This is actually a pretty big deal. And I think, unless Dotta, you have anything to say, I think Matto is best qualified to speak on this.
I think so. Let's hear it.
What do you got, Matto?
Yeah. Hey everybody. So yeah, very, very exciting. So we've been kind of like gearing up for this towards the end of October. We figured the best time would be after the Nightmare Imp event. So we kind of make sure we kind of align really well. But this is going to be our first kind of playable build of it's going to be like a demo, so it's not going to be like the full scope of the game, but we wanted to show off like a lot of the work that we've been doing for like the past over 2 years leading up to this. We know a lot of people have been wanting to play. We've constantly asked, hey, when can we have some kind of like a private like alpha build or something to play? And we kind of like threw it around internally for like if we're gonna have more closed feedback builds or whatever. But we figured it's best to show. We want to show off like the work that we've done for like a larger audience, and also kind of like we're going to get better feedback from this. So it's going to be an event. It starts next week on November 8th. You're going to be able to jump into the game. You're going to be able to experience the core gameplay loop. So it's going to have battling. It's going to have some exploration. It's going to have crafting. It's going to have player progression. And during this build, you'll actually be able to have mint some items that are going to be able to like go with you for the actual full release of the game. So this is like a beta build of the game. Progress you're making it, you're going to expect to have some of this progress like wiped, but stuff that you mint from the game, like there's going to be like special cosmetics that are exclusive for this portion of this event. Those will be transferable later on into the full release of the game. Really exciting stuff. If you haven't read our white paper yet, I'm going to pin it up very soon. But our white paper, we dropped that recently as well. It goes very into depth about all the core gameplay mechanics and the economy, how that's going to be built, how player land is going to be utilized, and all the good stuff. If there's any, like a lot of questions that people have had leading up to these past few months, a lot of that is explained really well in that white paper. And in general, I'm really excited for this event. It's been a while coming. We've been kind of pushing the date back a little bit as we do some last minute polish. And we feel like it's good to have right now for everybody to experience. So everybody, please come. There's going to be one last thing I forgot to mention. There's going to be a mint event in the beginning. So on November 8th, an hour before the game opens up, there's going to be an opportunity for people to mint. There's these rings. They're called the Watcher rings. There's 8 different ones. One of them is rarer than the others, but there's one for each sect of the cult, and then there's like the Hugh Masters iridescent ring. And these rings they stack up together to give you like bonuses during this event. And they give you better chances of getting land and other prizes. So we have 1,001 plots of land that we've allocated for this event. You can only get it from playing through the game, so you can't just straight up decide, hey, I'm going to buy some land from this event, or whatever. You get it from playing through, and you get better chances with these rings. And if you actually stack these rings, you get more chances as you stack them up. We wanted to make them actually really affordable, so they're like 0.015 ETH, I think is the price. I'm going to double check on that in a moment, but I think that's the price we settled on. It's about like $30 US or so. We wanted to just make this really accessible to everybody. And it's not even mandatory that you even have a wallet to play this. This is just, you can go in with just an email sign up and just start playing. You don't need a wizard. You don't need anything. You can use your wizard to play as your wizard if you like, but we want this to be open for everybody to kind of experience, to see what we're building, and also to give us that feedback. So really excited for this. Excited to play with all of you guys. I'll probably be streaming later in next week when it comes out. And yeah, really happy to finally have this presentable for everybody.
This is very exciting. This has been like over a year in development. We're finally coming upon just a really big milestone in the development of this game. And so, yeah, I mean, one thing I think I'm really excited about is just getting feedback from the community. I'm really curious how much people enjoy the build. Is there like a way for the community to submit feedback and just like things that they might want to like ask for, or how's that going to work out?
Yeah, so actually next week before the game drops, I'm going to be dropping like a feedback form that's kind of like a general feedback that people can fill out. Of course, anybody can just kind of like drop their thoughts out into Discord. I'll try to keep track of them, but if you really want to keep it recorded, like, there's going to be a feedback form in our Discord. And then also, if you have any kind of like issues that you bump into the games, or like bug reports that you want to submit, you can. I'm gonna open tickets again in our Discord. And by the way, this is, when I say the Discord, I mean there's the Forgotten Runiverse game Discord, which is separate from the main Forgotten Runes Discord. And the reason why we kept them separate is particularly because as we expect that we're going to have more of an influx of people coming for the game. Just to keep those chats a bit more segmented, so that way it's easier to keep track of everything. But yeah, so you go to in the game Discord, there's going to be a feedback form. Anybody can submit. Like I said, this is going to be like an early version of the build. What we call, this is a demo that we're calling like it's a vertical slice. So that means it's kind of like just kind of going through some of the core gameplay loops, but it's not really the full scope of it. It's just kind of a sliver of it. So I think a good example that I brought up was for last year, everybody was able to play the frog hunt. I'm sorry, I think there's like some feedback on somebody's mic. Anyway, so last year there was like the frog hunt event, and that was more of like an exploratory view of the Forgotten Runiverse. You couldn't read, there was no combat or building or anything in it, right? So the focus of that was to show off like, this is the world that's being built. So for this build, you're actually going to have less exploration than you had in the other build, which sounds a little counterintuitive. But the point of it is that we want to focus this build on the core gameplay loops that are aside from exploration. So it's going to be, there's still going to be some areas to explore, but it's going to be a lot like more compact and kind of like more intimate with the monsters, because we want you interacting with battling and with gathering materials and with crafting and with boss fights and partying up. So so this build, it's not going to have the scope of everything that's in the game. It's an early build. So a lot of the stuff is subject to change based on your feedback. So please come in, give us whatever feedback. If you don't like something, please let us know. Like, there's plenty of time for us to develop and to, flesh it out into a different direction if we feel like, hey, this was really going well, maybe internal play test, but for whatever reason outside, like a lot of people told us that it didn't click with them. So that's great. We want that kind of feedback so we know what we can develop it further, so we make the best game for the cult that the cult will really enjoy. So please come.
Yeah, one of the things about this build, I don't know if you guys have seen the graphic on the Eve of Memory event blog post. There's a lot of details there, but they made a really nice graphic that sort of shows how the roadmap for the game, which is like, this idea that this version, we're calling this vertical slice, is almost like a demo, right? There's lots of parts that are going to be in the final game around kind of building out your land and all different crafting recipes, right? There's like lots of other things, having cities that are going to be part of the final build that are not going to be part of like this gameplay demo that we're going to be doing. So, when you think of this vertical slice as this kind of early, like pre-alpha, like you'll play the game and it'll be fun and you can earn things that you have permanently. But we'll do an alpha later and then a beta and then rolling into live service full. So, I mean, it's been a huge milestone, right? Anybody who's built a game knows that even getting a game that is playable as like a demo is still a massive achievement. So really props to the Bisonic team, and I'm so excited to get everybody in there.
I'm looking at the Secret Tower, and Bridge was asking, he said, okay, so the event starts on the 8th. When does it end?
Oh, good question. So we're going to, sorry. Good question. We're actually going to have it run for, I believe it was a week that we decided on. Let me get the exact date. I think it's the 15th, but give me one moment to pull up. So it should be from the 8th to the 15th. It's going to be playable during that entire period. So like, even if the first day you can't make it, it's fine. You'll be able to play it on the other days. There's enough content in it that you can probably max out your character in probably like a day. But there's other stuff that you can do aside from when you're max level. Like for instance, when I reached max level, it was like not the end because there was bosses that I couldn't solo internally. So I was like grinding for like the extra gear and for more powerful spells and stuff. There's a lot to play around with. I think that a week period is a nice open-ended window for people to kind of explore, try maybe make different characters and such, and kind of like find their ways into mixing and matching different strategies. So you don't have to be there on day one to have the most fun. You can pick it up throughout that time period.
Okay, and I have one very basic question. You probably already said it, but I just want to double check. If you own a wizard, can you play as your wizard?
Yes, you can play as your wizard. Unfortunately, there won't be souls in this build or warriors. Those are planned for when the full game releases. But it's going to be like after the game release. It takes time to make games. So like right now, the focus is on making sure all the core gameplay mechanics are there. And then like later on, we'll probably add those flares. So like the game was made initially when only wizards were out. Took a while. By the time the game is up to this point, we already have warriors and souls, but those were not originally there. So yeah.
It's so funny you say that. Yeah, because we started this game like shortly after we launched Wizards, and then we launched Souls and Warriors in between development. I remember Bisonic was like, "Wait, do we have to put these in too?"
yeah. I think that's something that a lot of people kind of don't really. Even I notice even outside of the space, like just like even when I look at video game boards, like a lot of people just have this. They underestimate how long it takes to make games.
Yeah.
Sure. So it's like, so it's like development. A lot of times, like when like a game is like announced, like maybe like E3 or whatever, like that game was probably in development for years before you even got like that trailer to even show up at E3. In some cases, there are some cases I'm sure in E3 that there's like games that came out with a trailer and then they're kind of like vaporware for like a few years. Nobody knows what development hell they're in. But excited, but I'm excited that we got to this point and that's why I said that's why we want to kind of present this point, even though it's kind of like just a demo build, because like we feel like it's built up enough that we can kind of have something playable that people can kind of like sink their teeth into and give us some good actual feedback on. There's still a lot more development to be done on the game, but just that way you guys aren't waiting like another like year or two before there's something that we feel like, oh, now it's super polished, we can push out. This build is going to be pretty bare bones for what we want it to be, but it's going to be fun enough that you can jump in and feel what the game is building into.
Yep, totally. I just I pinned the tweets to the top. It'll give you, I think, all the information you need if you want to sign up for this event on November 8th.
I don't think you did. I don't see any pinned tweets in the space, unless you mean on the account.
Okay, maybe I did it wrong because I see it.
I see it on my end.
Oh, there we go.
I think it's working for you. There you go.
Guys, I got a Lich Centurion. It looks amazing.
Awesome.
I opened up all 10 of my packs. I think I need to buy more.
Yeah,
that's exactly how I felt last night. I was like, all right, I finally bridged over some more. I had like some It was some ETH on XDAI chain. Remember that? How that's now Gnosis chain. Yeah, so that chain is pretty much like dead. But like I had some dust there. I was like, it was like maybe like $120 worth. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll liquidate this and just send it over. I'll get a few packs. And I feel like it still wasn't even enough.
Yeah, I went to bridge more to Polygon, and then it's like, oh, you have 3 WETH over here, and I'm like, yes, we're getting some rare cards.
All right. Well, Matto, anything else on the Runiverse event?
Yeah. Well, okay. I have more on the Runiverse event. I think it's going to be super fun. If you own Wizards, like, of course, you will get a priority in the minting window, but it's also only half an hour. So, I mean, there's only 700 available, and there's whatever 4,000 of like Forgotten Runes holders. So, it's completely likely that we might sell out in the wizard holding window. So be there or be square. It's 9 a.m. Pacific on November 8th. Is that right?
Yes, November 8th, correct. And yeah, that is correct. 700 is going to be, we're only giving out 700 rings during this period. The beginning is going to be an open window of 30 minutes for wizard and soul holders. And then in the second half of the hour, it's going to be open to some partner communities that we've kind of reached out to and warriors as well. And then after that period, then it's going to kind of just be open free for all. But hopefully it's only 700. So I think that there's enough demand that it's going to be pretty good hype for it. Also, another thing to point out, even though we are on Arbitrum, the rings will actually be minted on ETH. And that's just kind of, I think it was just kind of like timing issues, things, and kind of like how we developed everything. So like the rings themselves will be on ETH. Items that you mint in game will actually be minted on Arbitrum. So just keep that in mind when you're preparing your wallets. Don't send over a whole bunch of ETH to Arbitrum and then expect to kind of mint the rings there, and then have the issue where now you have to go back to ETH and then miss out. Make sure you have your wallet prepared on ETH for this mint. And then later on, the future mints will be dedicated towards Arbitrum.
That's great.
So Real Top Shot is asking a good question. He says, will the benefit of the rings carry over to the full game or just this vertical slice?
Right, that is actually a very good question. So for balancing purposes, I can't really guarantee that all the benefits are going to carry over, right? Because like we're going to be using this gameplay event to kind of also get feedback internally about how balance works, right? Like how people, when they interact with the systems, does it seem like the numbers are off or anything, right? So I can't say for sure that the exact benefits of the rings are gonna transfer over to the full game. But I will say that for sure that there are some benefits that are expected to transfer over to the full game, and that would be like there's like exclusive player titles and such that will be transferred over. And there's also items, obviously, that you'll get within the event that are going to be more likely to get when you have rings. Those items are going to be exclusive to the event and transfer over. But the rings themselves, I can't tell you for certain that all the benefits will transfer over. We'll just try our best to give some benefits to those ring holders in the final game build. But how that works out in terms of balance, it may not be the exact same as it is right now.
Right. The rings help you do better in this event. And this event gives you things that will persist into the real game.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, it gives you an advantage.
Right. So you can expect, don't get the rings on speculative value of what you think they'll do in the future. For now, the rings, they have a very set role for what they do now for this event that will definitely transfer over to the future. But the rings themselves, they're going to have some benefit, but please don't try to, push them into I'm going to, right now they have they give you mana regen daily. That may be something that we figure out later on, hey, that's kind of broken in the full version of the game, right? So, or maybe it's not as much mana regen. Maybe we do a little mana regen comparatively to what it is now. So like I said, just for balancing purposes, I can't really guarantee, but we will try to bring some benefits over.
Makes sense. Givahoot, do you have a question?
No question, just a comment. I took off work for this next week, and I'm very excited. This is the first time I've done that for any game release ever, so you should be honored.
Very honored. Thank you so much, Givahoot.
Oh man, this is the beginning of Give a Hoot's financial ruin, or maybe a real upswing. Who knows? Maybe. What was the super rare ring you said, Matto? Like the Hugh Masters?
Oh
ring?
yeah, be the Hugh Masters ring. Right,
Yeah.
right. That's the rare ring. And yeah, like I said, there's different. So there's rings for the different sex, and so like you can stack rings, but you have to stack like different kinds of rings. So like we also want this. It's like tradable. The rings are tradable. So like if you get like let's say 4 red rings, and you want some of the other rings, you can stack them up. You can trade them with other people together. We want this event to be nice and fun, even on the trading side.
And then, can you talk about the seal of tenure? That seems like such a big deal. That's actually at the bottom of the Eve of Memory
right
blog post. Can you tell us about these?
Sure. Yeah. So we have 1,001 plots of land that we've kind of held off to the side specifically for this event. And through playing the game, you'll actually be able to get the tenures that they're essentially they give you a reservation for that plot of land. It's not like a reservation in the sense of like, oh, you get like a reserved spot to buy it. It's like, no, you will get that land. It'll be after the actual land sale, so like you're not going to get the land immediately. That's why you're just going to have this kind of like it's almost like pretty much like a deed scroll. You'll get that, and that'll entitle you later to get that plot of land. And there's going to be different plots of lands. We have the different sizes, so and you only get it from playing. So it's free land pretty much. If you play the game and if you play it enough, you probably have a pretty good chance of it.
So there are 1,000 plots available during this week?
Yes. 1,001 plots that we have set aside for this week for this event.
That's crazy.
You'll be able to get them from gameplay. So there's a fountain in the game that you'll be able to use mana, and you'll be able to get mana from the game from like dismantling your equips. So like whatever, like if you're crafting equips and you dismantle them, you'll get mana back in return for them. But yeah, mana is a resource that you can use also for powering up or rather getting better stats on things that you craft. But it can also be used in the mana well, so you can kind of like ask for wishes, and part of those wishes will be the quantum gifts, which are those are going to be mintable items that will transfer over into the full release of the game. And you also have a chance of getting these tenures that are the scrolls that entitle you to land. So mixed in with all those quantum gifts is going to be the chance for you to get free plots of land.
I see. So it's not necessarily that there's 1,000 plots that are being given away, but sort of like up to 1,000 might be given away for players that like play the game, progress to the degree, and then have the good fortune enough to earn one of these seals. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah, I think the math is set up so that it's pretty likely that we're gonna, like, given like the amount that we're expecting people to like play, that like, those plots of land will get pretty much given out. I'll have to kind of like I'll actually ask the question of what happens if there are any that for whatever reason don't get minted through. But I think the math is planned out so that it's pretty likely that they should be given out. I'll probably get back to you. That's a good question. I'll get back to you and answer in a secret tower when I have a solid answer on if there's any what it happens if there's any ungiven out plots.
Great.
This is very exciting. I love how many people I'm seeing in the secret tower that are going to take off work to play this game. Everybody's going to call in sick next week.
I see also Critical asked breakdown for how many of each each type of plot is in this for the 1,001 that we have set aside. That's actually a good question. We actually do have we actually published in game. There's like a table with the actual probability. So like a probability table for what you can get for like what items you can get and like how many of them specifically are in the pool. I'll try to, and that's actually something that I think we wanted to push out, but we actually didn't get a chance to for the blog post. So I'll try to later today or tomorrow to publish that, and then I'll post it on our Twitter so that we kind of have like a highlight of like, this is what is expected to be, and these are like the probabilities for it.
Amazing. Man, so many people are taking the day off. I see Tanya's taking the day off. Feckless is taking off. This is hilarious. Very cool. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. I really want to take some time to talk about the Halloween event, and I'm kind of sad that Bear is not here for it.
Yeah.
But before we jump to that, just anything else on the Runiverse?
No, nothing off the top of my head. I mean, there's just so much that's going on in the Runiverse. I feel like I'll have to take up a lot of space just to talk through it more. But the core aspect of it is please check our white paper and come over next week.
Yeah, we still haven't even gone over the white paper Wizard Wednesday, and I haven't tweeted about it either. Like, I mean, I've said that it exists, but I haven't done a tweet storm just because I was trying to get Halloween out. But there's some really, really important things in the white paper. I think that one of the most important things that I'm just going to talk about, you guys are going to be talking about it all the time, is the wizard holder benefits. I think is one of the most important things to kind of the classic holder community, right? Bisonic is doing a great job, and we're all going to invite people outside of Web3, invite Web2 people into playing a Web3 game that's actually fun. But for the wizard holders, one of the key benefits, right, is that there will be a building that can be built that actually lets you participate in some of the gold of the economy. And that's a wizard exclusive benefit that's really meaningful. So we'll talk more about that, but the idea that wizards will be able to kind of earn gold from the economy when you play the game is such a huge deal. And really, really thrilled that Bisonic decided to put that in.
Yeah, I think on our end there's a lot of stuff that we would want to tweet out as well, but we know there's a lot of stuff going on in the cult. So we kind of that's why I said we also kind of held for actually launching this event after the Nightmare Imp run, because a lot of stuff, I think we had a lot of stuff planned for October, and then October was just packed with a whole bunch of cult stuff. Halloween is pretty much Christmas for the cult. So it's okay, we'll hold off a little bit, and throughout the week, throughout this next week, on the Twitter, I'll be dropping some highlights from our white paper and stuff. But we're gonna have a more in-depth kind of talk about our white paper after the dust settles a little more.
Yeah, and what people always ask is what benefit is it for wizard holders? And one of the biggest things is if you come in and you play the game and you build this building, you'll earn part of the gold of the game economy. That's huge.
Yep.
That's a huge benefit for wizard holders, and it's also huge in a way that doesn't kind of upset the rest of the economy, right? It doesn't give you such a big advantage that other people don't play. So it's a nice way to thread the needle.
All right. Let's talk Halloween. Did I just lose everybody?
No.
Okay.
No, the Halloween event was amazing. I can't believe you guys managed to pull that off in such a short amount of time.
It was so much fun. I have so much to say about it. Again, damn it, Bear, where are you? Because that's the first thing. I gotta give a huge shout out, thank you to Bearsnake. He was the one who really kind of took charge and organized this thing with our good friend Board. So first of all, thanks to them. And then of course, thanks to the Improbable team. The CEO of Improbable, Herman Narula, put out a poll last night asking if this was the best event that Improbable ever made. And so far, the yeses are winning by a lot. If you have not voted in that poll, please go vote and even leave a comment. Tell them what you liked about it.
Yeah, it's not a competition. The other events that they did were so good. The other side trips, for example, with Yuga was so good. So it's not a competition, but if it was, we would be winning.
Yeah. So before I talk about all the things that I loved about it, which were myriad, I just want to quickly acknowledge the things that I wish were better that we can improve on for next time. I want to just quickly say I hate that we weren't able to get the souls in. Just a major. I guess disappointment for me and a lot of people, because I thought they were going to be in until like the morning of the event. That was when I found out they weren't going to be in, and we tried everything we could to get them in. It was literally impossible.
It was so much work to be done to get the event done on time. So yeah, that was. But you know, yeah, it was a lot to get the souls done on time and a lot to get the event done on time. So we recognize that we didn't get that done early enough. But you know, we don't want the souls holders to feel dejected. We'll get it next time.
Yeah, I think you said it was like 3 weeks that you guys were able to kind of like cobble together.
Pretty much, yeah. You know, and I'll just say, like part of the problem I think was like the bulk of their team is in the UK, and so we were working on different time zones. So, like a lot of times when we would say something, it would take like a good 12 hours for them to see it, and then by that time, like a bunch of messages got pushed away. And so
but also they worked at an incredible speed. Like the ability to put that together at 3 weeks is just incredible.
Yeah. I'm going to get to all the stuff that I love. I just want to quickly just go over. I'm sad that some people weren't able to log in with their wallets. I know there's a few technical difficulties with that. And then I remember when everything was like almost there was a big crash in the very beginning, and everybody got booted. And when that happened, I was like, oh shit, this is an omen. The Quantum Shadow has other plans for this event. It's not going to work out. It's all going to get canceled. But then they pulled it together. Another funny anecdote was I could hear some Russian guys speaking the entire time on global chat. And I don't know how that happened. Um, and then finally, that first platform section was way too hard. I think it's because like the player collision was on, and then the render depth for everyone's camera was really short, and so you couldn't even see if the platform ahead of you was clear or not. And like I think ultimately what that means is like the event was basically too popular. There were too many people playing, and it just kind of like pushed the servers to the limit. But that was really the only bad stuff I saw. Um, Everything else beyond that was just a blast. I had so much fun. It sort of gave me the same vibes as the NFT NYC party that we had 2 summers ago. Even right down to this very detail. In NYC, I remember being terrified that nobody was going to show up, and then I remember turning a corner and seeing a line of 300 people out the door. And that same thing happened yesterday in the event. I remember all of a sudden just thinking, "Holy shit! There is a lot of people in here." Um, and I think a really fun thing that I realized was this event just sort of put a whole new type of cult member into the spotlight. Like what I mean is normally we focus a lot on like our artists and our creators. And you know, that's what Forgotten Runes is all about. But this event was for the gamers, and the gamers really had a chance to take the spotlight. And that's just like a whole new kind of cult member. I think the Runiverse game is going to do the same thing. But yeah, I really want to like do more things where it elevates a different kind of cult member. Um, Another thing I felt, and I think a lot of people in the cult felt this, was like this was sort of the closest like true metaverse experience I've had, I think, maybe ever. And I saw a lot of other people say that they were like this is just like this really felt like a real true metaverse experience that's actually fun. Um, Another thing I loved was Justin's live streams. Justin, you are posting some really funny stuff. I love that you live streamed it. You got a lot of great footage. I know I've been enjoying your posts. Um, and you know, speaking of, I'm actually sitting on 132 gigabytes of footage from the event. We had 11 cameras placed all throughout the entire world. Each of them has like an hour's long footage. So if anybody out there wants access to this footage, and if you want to cut it together for something fun, you want to put it on YouTube, just like at me in the secret tower, and I can point you to this footage. There's some really good stuff on there. Shark Child, you did awesome as the imp. I love that you got to play the imp. It was just such a fun climax to the whole event. Just that fun little bit that we did of the imp coming out of the door. And that was just yet another thing. Like the whole social dynamics of this experience was really fun. It was really fun for me to be one of the giant host characters and just observing all the players at once playing. Dotta, I think you enjoyed that as well, right? Wait, is Dotta here? Oh, Dotta's been. Dotta, are you gone?
He's busy. He's busy trying to get more liquidity for runes packs.
Dude, he's been opening runes packs the entire time. Jitsi, fill in for Dotta. You were there, right?
Yeah, I was there. It was fun.
Yeah. Jitsi, tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, obviously I love this. I'm like big on games, and watching everyone come together to play a GameFi experience is awesome. I think you were right. The only thing that really like held it back was, or one of the things is the clipping is really difficult with like a platform. Everyone's trying to get like on the same spot. Like that obviously was a frustration. But very much enjoyed people just like playing the game and getting lost and dying, and like the entire experience was really good, right? Like these are the type of events that I'm hoping to have more of, because they feel like one-off experiences that aren't just like a music festival or, a show you go to is fun. But, for this, it just feels a lot different because you can't do this in real life, right? So I'm excited to see where it goes and keeps on going. But you're exactly right. Like, gamers will see this and want to stream. And I think, Justin, what you did was fantastic. And I hope we can get more people like you that are just, like, sharing that wholesome content and, like, getting it out there. So I had a blast. I was dancing around. I didn't compete. I definitely knew some of the layouts for everything, so I didn't think it would have been fair, but I had just as much fun watching everyone play against each other. It was a complete blast.
Yeah. I think one of the other fun things was just like seeing all of your friends there in this like 3D space. I noticed that one of the things that I kept doing was just like saying hi to everyone, just like, oh, hi Kel, hi Shark Child, hi Tanya, and like, It felt kind of silly too, because all I was just doing was just saying hi to people, but at the same time, it was just felt like, a big party where you get to see everyone for the first time. So maybe I could come up with some better dialogue if I was funnier and smarter, but really I just wanted to have everyone feel seen.
The scale felt really good.
Your dialogue was perfect, Dotta. Don't worry.
Justin, hey, your live streams were a real hit. Do you have some comments?
Yes. First of all, my mic's working, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh my God. Yo, the Halloween event was amazing. I was sweating through my shirt the entire time. I was like just trying to get across, and like every single time you guys announced that the next force field was going to drop, I like started panicking, and I was like, I need to finish this like right now so I can get to the end, so I can record like all the fun stuff and people getting the pumpkins. And it was just ridiculous. The maze was so hard. The maze was just me running around for like 40% of my video, just in circles like an idiot. But it was amazing. I loved everything. Seeing all the Easter eggs was amazing. Seeing everybody there was incredible. But overall, one of the best experiences thus far. Very, very happy.
Yeah, I really loved how they included cult content along the walls. Even like that like baby Nas was in there. I thought that was just so fun. They have such a great team of artists and at Improbable. And well, in any case, Justin, your videos were fantastic. I mean, I retweeted some of your tweets this morning, and honestly, I was even watching some of your videos today. They gave us a set of videos, like a set of raw footage, and we need to like stitch together and share some stuff. But your stuff has been the one I've been coming back to just to like have something today to watch.
Thanks. Oh my gosh, it was great. That's all I can say. It was great. perfect, and I'm looking forward to all the stuff coming.
Awesome, Justin. Yeah, I'm so glad you were there and you streamed it. I want to give a huge congratulations to our winners. Edward took the bronze. Seb took the silver, and the golden pumpkin went to Red.
Hey. So, okay, yesterday I thought that Seb was like, I don't know how to say his name, Sebuday from Zapper, because I was like saying, oh, Zapper's going to be so happy, Zapper's going to be happy. But I don't think it was the different Seb. It was Seb Bat who's here today. Seb Bat, I saw you earlier. If you want to come up and correct me and talk about the glory of winning the silver pumpkin, please do. Any of our winners, Red as well. But all that to say is I was totally wrong about which Seb we were even talking about yesterday.
No, it's funny you say that, because to be honest, I'm not even sure if we have the correct Red. There might be some confusion as to who won the gold. So Nalgene is busy DMing people because we do have wallet addresses for the winners, but we just want to make sure we've got them correct. So yeah, if the winners would step forth and identify themselves, we can streamline our DMs.
Because we can verify, and probably we'll verify like the wallets or emails or whatever is used to sign up. I think yesterday when we're all announcing it and talking about it, we were just going off of basically the usernames that we were seeing and our assumptions.
And it looks like we have Red here.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, Red? Hey.
Red, hello.
Hey, super stoked. That was, as Justin said, everyone said, such a fun event.
Red, I remember the exact moment of watching you running up that bridge towards the gold. You had like 10 people right on your heels, and it was a real nail biter. Just wondering, like, oh man, is he gonna just, I don't know, trip and fall, or is he gonna crash? Like somebody else gonna get it? It was amazing.
I had such a hard turn around. I was telling Justin, I was like, I kind of want to look back now. I'm like, no way, I'm doing that now.
Yeah, it's so good. And Red, is your do you have a different name? Like the name we have is Tolkiaz. Is that you? Is that your wallet?
Probably not.
Okay. Okay. We'll figure it out. We'll
get it sorted out.
Yeah, no worries. I got tagged a bunch in the secret tower, and I got like Sadal with the golden bow. This guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Red, are you like typically a really good gamer, or did you just get lucky? Like how did you do it? How did you come out ahead?
You can see in the video, there's a guy that jumps to the right. And I don't know, I turn right, everyone turned left. So that's it. That's it.
Okay.
It was fun though.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely games a bit. Yeah, I think at the end, that last portion of the maze where it was like the invisible platforms and like everybody's just like, like you would see if somebody falls. It's like, I think at the very end was very fun because it was like everyone's just standing and just waiting for the next person to make a move. And it's like, all right, that's the wrong way.
Yeah, for sure. I thought actually Mala was gonna win. Mala was so close, and then they fell into the abyss. But it was very exciting.
Steezy T was right next. Oh, it was so close.
Yep. And then yeah. So we did have some cult questions about the event. Actually, one is from Chetta Bob. Chetta is this. He's actually asking Jitsi. Jitsi, could you do the 3D maze blindfolded?
Yeah, I could probably do the invisible maze blindfolded. I knew the layout pretty well. The other one's not so much, but that one for sure. There's a couple shortcuts if anyone caught on to it, but
this is why we didn't let Jitsi compete. I'm sorry, Jitsi.
It's okay.
Yeah, the big maze outside was really difficult. Which Bear wanted. I don't know that it should have been easier, but the fact that you had to kind of like go along the side around the left, I thought was really deceptive because most people I saw actually ended up around the center where the blue tower was. Well, it was a tricky one.
Yep. And then VMark is asking, who designed the map for the Halloween event, and will there be a way to reuse it? Can we export it to other games? So VMark, that was all designed by the Improbable team. Me and Bear and other people from Magic Machine definitely gave a lot of creative direction to it. I myself actually made the Imp's Tower. I made that asset, but really the Improbable team did like 99%
And
of
then
it.
I think we also consulted with Scott, who helped design some of the ideas for the maze. Like I think that the invisible platforms were his idea, for example. So yeah.
Wait, who's Scott?
Scott, I think his last name is like Kimners. He's a wizard. I wish I had his name here. Sorry, Scott, that I forget your last
Okay.
name.
Yep. And then and yeah, they did an incredible job. Will there be a way to reuse it? I don't know if we can say anything definitive on that right now. I know they've talked about maybe opening it up just for fun at some point. But yeah, I don't really know too much at this point about reusing it. I know that a lot of people like Delta Mouse was talking about how they just wanted to like walk around and explore and not really race to the end. And I definitely share that sentiment. You know, me personally, I really want to make our own like sort of 3D world that's just more social and exploratory someday in the near future. But we'll have to see about that in 2024.
Yeah.
Um,
So I know that we're like already way over time, but we're still not even through all of the cult projects that were built for Halloween, and I don't want to let those be glossed over. So we should talk about the Halloween Dressup app. I dressed up like 10 of my characters. My daughter helped me. She was like, she saw one and she was like, I want to dress up my wizard. And so then, yeah, she sat at my computer for a while and used all the costumes. So I want to give props to well, let's see. Who do I know that built that? I think Acid did the artwork, as far as I know. One of the things that's really cool there, I don't think we've ever talked about, is that you can actually use your Athenaeum items to hold in your wizard's hand, and I think that is really incredible. So props to Bill Gaines, and then Bill, I know that you cited actually like a whole team of people who helped out on that project, and so you know, I don't want to gloss over anyone, but I also can't recite them all from memory. So I don't know, Bill, if you want to come up and talk about it.
Yeah, I've been seeing all the fun costumes here and there. They're just so good. They're so good.
So you can connect your wallet, but you don't have to sign anything, which is really nice because, like, let's say you have your ledger, you can connect your ledger, assuming it's in your MetaMask, which it would be, but you don't have to like get your ledger out and then like sign anything, right? So you could just like pick it from your MetaMask, and then it'll like pull up the wizards that you want without having to like risk, I don't know, signing something in your wallet, and then you can see your wizards and dress them up. It's super fun.
Yep. So there's that. There's Wizard Smalls. Oh, here's Bill. Bill looks like he's dressed as the It Clown.
What's up?
Hey, Bill.
Yo. Yeah, so the people who did help out with making costumes were Tanya, Feckless, Tad Major, and Acid, of course. It made it
Sweetbread and Oz. It looks like.
Yeah, Sweetbread as well. Yeah, she made the Toru onesie. It was so cute. And then Oz helped with
That's so fun.
with the border on the on the selections, and he also made the backgrounds for the Black Sand Edition holders.
Love it.
Yep.
So good.
It was a massive endeavor, believe it or not. Cropping all of the soul and warrior heads and placing the Athenium items was a big undertaking.
Bill, I believe it. Trust me.
Yeah, I believe it. A lot there.
We were like halfway through it. I was like, oh my god, all these files and how everything is structured. So it was a really good learning experience, and now that it's built, we want to incorporate like prizes for the Black Sands into it. So maybe you get special items for racing in the Black Sands, and other things too. So it was built for a purpose bigger than Halloween, but Halloween was a good goalpost for us to try to hit.
Fantastic.
I mean, I love it. Like this idea of having like a wizard workshop is something I've wanted to do from month one, where you're able to like, you know, customize the traits of your wizard's appearance and being able to dress them up in Halloween costumes and swap out the prop for a piece of pizza. I love that so much, and I feel like um, this idea of having kind of dynamic NFTs where you're able to customize them to your liking is just going to be so important in this space moving forward. We really haven't explored what it means to be able to customize your character to this degree. So just really props to you guys.
Thanks. This is something I wanted to do with my wizard since I got it too. It is what makes sense. And especially with token bound accounts and token bound tokens now, I think there's a lot of opportunities and pathways forward for us to make these kinds of things without affecting the original collections.
Yep, incredible.
Right on. Well, speaking of cult content, I'm gonna go through the cult content chronicle. Week 41.
What? There's one more. Wizards Smalls.
Well, it's funny you say that because it's actually in the cult content chronicle.
Okay, great. We'll get there when we get there. Good.
Okay. Okay. So, compiled by the illustrious Tanya Del Rio. The first entry is, of course, Runes, the Souls expansion of Runes TCG. We heard all about that at the top of the hour. And yeah, and then Tanya highlighted the 1/1 Nightmare Imp Runes TCG card that Kel was lucky enough to pull. And then yeah, it's like Dotta said, we've got an amazing Forgotten Smalls. I don't know how to pronounce it. Forgotten Smalls by Wizard Small. He basically shrunk the entire Souls collection. And yeah, it's beautiful. I'm not sure if it's ready to be minted yet, but I think it's going to be minted very soon. And then Bill Gaines looks like oh yeah, it was the costume thing. Tabitha of the Marsh dressed up as their wizard. I remember Tabitha wearing this exact mask at NFT NYC. It's an amazing mask. And then Schlee, who has popularized one of the most famous slimes in the Runiverse. Either Schlee made this costume in real life or it's AI generated. I think it's AI generated, but if it's not, it is an amazing costume. And then Sharon shared a really fun image of her soul, Lucinda. Maddow shared this amazing dance video of Magus Devon using Hakuya Labs. Maddow, I have not seen that until this very moment. This is freaking amazing.
Thank you.
So good. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, look in the Cult Content Chronicle. It's so good. And then also Maddow commissioned some artwork from Hiwana43. The Cabinet of Curiosities is getting a revamp. That's very exciting. Oz is also working on just a really beautiful, like low-res pixel piece. Looks like somewhere in like a really snowy landscape. Man, that's beautiful. Feckless is continuing with his hilarious. I'm just gonna call them wacky doodles on graph paper. Feckless, this is beautiful, man. I love it. And then this is a good one. Meeple Dad, I think, is making like a Lego secret tower. That is very exciting. I mean, the secret tower should be like an official Lego set, maybe someday, and maybe Meeple Dad, they can take your design. But this is looking super cool. I can't wait to see the finished product on that. Immolator Amelia shared a really fun piece of lore and image of their warrior. And then, of course, Tanya put Justin's live stream into the Chronicle. Y'all, Justin's live stream is so good. It's probably one of the best, I guess, sort of the best covering of the whole Halloween event. Just every piece Justin got was just golden. The Magic Monday News. Episode 29 was out. The special guest was Wizard on the Coast. The treat of the week was the bonsai tree. And then, the current Black Sand race is still happening. It's the Cumberland Cup. It looks like there's 10 days left until a winner emerges. And the winner will, of course, win Dowie, the Prince of O. It's a really beautiful character. It really is. And I think that's it. Artsy, I see that you came up. Artsy, are you there? Maybe not.
Guess not.
All right. Well, anything else from anybody?
I love the cult.
I love the cult.
I love the cult. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I got to say. This was a good Halloween.
That's all we got to say. That's a good way to end it. All right, everybody. Thank you again. Thanks for coming to the Halloween event yesterday. It was I think, one of the most fun times I've had in the cult thus far. And we'll see you next week. This has been Elf, Dotta, Jitsi, Bill, Matto, Artsy, Red, and all the wizards and souls and warriors of the Forgotten Runes Wizards Cult.